I'm at a weird age right now, 25, smack dab in the middle, where it's like you're 5 years away from 30 and you're 5 years past when you were 20, right? And it's definitely a weird time because it's like you feel the pressure of 30. 30 is around the corner and you feel the pressure, you feel the need to kind of look around you, see where everybody else is doing, because this is the age where you start to see people level up. You start to see, age 25 is where you start to see things happen, right? You start to see some people start buying houses. Maybe some people are, maybe some people's businesses are taking off. Maybe some people are getting into their career jobs. Maybe some people are still living at home. Maybe some people are still in school. Everybody, 25 is the age where everybody's at different stages in life, right? It's the age where you're gonna start to see stuff popping off. It's the age where you really start to see people head off into this, like, I know, shout out to the YouTuber First Man calls it the great male filter. You kind of start to see where guys start to like separate themselves from the pack. You start to see from age 25 to 30 is where you start to see who are the guys that were focused and who are the guys that were like slacking off and didn't do much with their lives, right? And at this age of 25, it's really easy to get in this zone of like looking at what everybody else is doing, right? And constantly like comparing yourself, because so much is happening at 25, right? Everybody's at different states, right? And it's so easy to just compare yourself to what everybody else is doing, right? And I'm kind of experiencing this myself, like the conversations that I'm having and the conversations that I'm hearing. Like a lot of people in my age group are like, some people are thinking about buying houses and some people are thinking about, finishing school, this, that, and the third. And, we're all kind of like, you feel these pressures from society telling you, you need to have it figured out by 30. You need to have a car, but you need to drive this level of car, this level of income, have a house, whatever, be in a white picket fence, and you have to do all of that by 30, right? And I think that this can be really problematic because you have to focus on your own journey is what I'm realizing. You can't be looking in everybody else's lane, right? You gotta really focus in on your own lane, right? And you can't compare yourself to what everybody else is doing, right? Because this is the age right now where like, a lot of things are going on, and it's the age where you have to really learn to be introspective and realize you're not as bad as you think you are, but you're also not as good as you think you are, right? Like when I'm in this video, I'm not saying at all that you should like take your foot off the gas and like underestimate how much time you have. Like, yes, you have a lot of time, like Gary Vee likes to say, you got time, but like, I don't think it's the time to take your foot off the gas and kind of just be like, whatever, right? I feel like it definitely is the time to kind of like lock in and grind, right? But do it on your terms, right? Don't chase after goals because it's what society wants, because it's what you're supposed to have at 30. Chase goals because it's what you want for your life in the next 5 years at 30, right? Don't do it based on what society thinks you should have, right? And it takes a level of introspectiveness, because you might be thinking like, well, Donne, I'm not influenced by society. I make my own decisions. Bullshit. At the end of the day, right? Like, can we just cut the shit and like be real for a second? Like, deep down, you care about what people are saying. Deep down, you care about what society is saying. You care like about what people are gonna think about the house you're living in, the car you're living in. You're scrolling on social media, you see people already bought their first home and whatnot, and you're thinking, wow, like this person really made it in life, right? And you're gonna think deep down about yourself, and you're gonna start to think, shit, right? But little do you know, that person who bought their house on IG is probably living off noodles and shit, struggling to pay off a mortgage for the next 20, 30 years. You don't know that. You only see what Instagram is showing you, right? And the reason I say all this to say, because you have to realize like, are your motivations yours, or are they like subconsciously what society put in your brain, right? Like like 25 is the age where you really have to be introspective and understand like, are my motivations what I want to do? Are my life goals on my terms, or am I living on society's terms? You have to really figure that out for yourself. And that's something I'm trying to figure out for myself right now. Like right now, I'm at a point in my life where, I'm seeing a lot of people at different stages in life. People are making decisions based on like what they think society thinks they should have by 30, right? And sometimes these decisions aren't the best, and they might rush you to make decisions that are like not in your best interest, right? And I'm in this position where it's like, I do feel the pressure, I hear certain like voices, certain like ideologies being pushed on me. I should have this by this age, this, that, and the third, right? And I have to understand, and this is the time where I'm really starting to realize like, I have to be tunnel vision. I have to be tunnel, because the moment I start looking in other people's lanes, I'm gonna crash, right? I'm gonna end up doing things that rushing the process, making drastic decisions that probably don't align with my goals. People are gonna try and tell you, you should buy a house. You should buy a house, you know what I mean? Housing market's pretty good right now, whatever, you know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, what if maybe I don't want to buy a house, right? Maybe what if I want to scale a business for the next couple of years and try and like, scale a business and reinvest the money that I made from the business into a property so that I can buy the house and everything I ever wanted after that, right? What if that's not my goal to buy a house, right? Maybe I don't want like to have the whole white picket fence and a house and shit by 30, right? What if like, my goal is to just grind it out on a business or whatever, finish school, focus on making money, and then invest into assets so that I can buy a house and everything I ever wanted, right? You know what I mean? Because I feel like there is just so much pressure to like live this certain way, that everybody wants you to live, right? I'm not saying like if you have like a good job and whatnot and you want to go and buy a house, sure, go ahead and do that. There's no problem with that, right? I'm just saying, don't do things because of what society thinks you should do, right? Make sure, the whole point I'm making with this video is making sure your goals are your own, making sure your goals are like on your terms. Is this something that you actually like, really like, keep it a buck with yourself? Is this something you actually want, right? Like the house thing was just an example. This can be with anything, right? Like, I'm not saying you should be like a bum and not like focus on your goals and just be like, oh, I'm not gonna compare. Like, it's fine. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you should like I'm always saying, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. But what I am saying is that you should be focused. You should grind. You should focus on elevating yourself and making something of yourself. But do it on your terms. Like really ask yourself, like, what do you want, bro? Like, what do you want? Like, what do you actually want? Not based on what society's saying. Screw what you see on Instagram. Forget what you're seeing on Facebook and what all these people are posting. What is it that you actually want? Like, put down the fucking phone sometime and answer that for yourself. Like, what do you actually want out of life? Like, real shit. Like, what do you want? Because the more we start comparing ourselves, we're looking into other people's lanes. You know what I mean? It's like we gotta focus on our direction and where we're going, right? It's not about taking your foot off the gas. It's about staying in your own lane. Figuring out, are your goals for you? Is that something that you want? Right? Like, and that's something that I'm trying to figure out right now. Like I'm trying to, in my personal life, I'm trying to figure out like, I have to, it's really about being introspective. Like I'm not as bad as I think I am, and I'm not as great as I think I am as well. So you gotta have that balance, because in my personal experience, I find that people and society, when you focus on Instagram, you're not focused on your lane. When I'm looking on IG and Instagram and seeing what other people are doing, I might think, damn, I'm 25 and I still don't have this and that. Little do you know, this person that's flexing on an Instagram, it's all facade. You don't know what that person's actually, what that person's life is. You don't know their situation. They may have gotten lucky. They may have made the right investments, right? In order to be in a position to do that, right? But when you see that, it's gonna force you to make rash decisions and spend money that you shouldn't be spending to impress the Joneses for the sake of impressing Joneses, right? And the point is that I realize I have to just really focus on my own lane, right? Focus on, the things that I got going on right now, right? A lot of times, especially myself, I think we're too hard on ourselves sometimes. And I think we need to just be a little bit more gentle with ourselves. Still have that like accountability aspect to where you're pushing yourself, but understand that you need to celebrate those wins. You need to celebrate the wins that you have in life, because you do have wins. You have good things going for you, right? Like a lot of times, like I might get down on myself and be like, damn, like I'm still in university, but I have to understand, like, I'm almost finished university, right? Sometimes I think like, man, like my YouTube channel, you know what I mean? Still not monetized yet. But look at the last bit of 2024, like you've made a lot of progress, right? You know, you're closer than you were in the beginning of far closer than you were in 2024 to getting monetized than you were before, right? It's about putting these things, you have to put your life in perspective and realize that you're not as bad as you think you are, and you're not as great as you think you are. You need to have that balance, you know what I mean? Of like that tough love that you have with yourself, like, yo, I could be doing better, but also celebrating those wins that, you know, I am doing things, right? And you also got to be real with yourself and figure out, maybe you don't have life direction. Maybe right now you're watching this, you're 25, you don't know exactly what you want to do with your life. And maybe right now you're in a season where you need a little bit more of that tough love to push you to actually find out what you want to do with your life, right? Because I'm not going to lie, 25 years old, like you should have some kind of direction, right? You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie to you and tell you to be a bum. No, that's not what this video is about. This video is about making sure that you are striving for more and that you are making something yourself, and you should have things going for you, but making sure it's on your terms and not based on what society is saying. That's the whole point of making this video. So you have to figure out right now, like, maybe you're someone who needs to have that tough love conversation with yourself. Like, yo, I'm a bum right now. I got to figure out what I got to do. I got to get in shape. I got to get in the gym. I got to start planning what do I want to do with the rest of my life, right? Maybe you're someone you're a little bit too hard on yourself, and you got to realize, like, okay, you know, this year was kind of tough, right? The last couple of years were kind of tough, you know, but I still made some progress. So I'm not as bad as I think I am, but you know what I mean? I still have room for growth, right? It's really about 25 years old. I think it's really about developing that introspectiveness to understand that, like, I'm not as bad as I think I am, and I'm not as great as I am, and I'm not as great as I think I am as well. And really understanding that, and really trying to understand, like, maybe I am as bad as I think I am, you know? Maybe you might be in that situation, and really be real with yourself, like, okay, what am I gonna do to, like, bring myself out of this rut, and making sure that once I do figure out what I want to do with my life, it's because of the goals that I have and not what society is setting out for me, right? But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. You know, a little rant straight off the dome. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of where I'm at. 25 years old, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure these days on, like, what is expected of you, right? But I'm realizing that I need to tunnel vision. I need a tunnel vision, focus on what's going on in my lane, and I can't be focused on what's going on in other people's lanes, or else I'm gonna crash, right? Gonna start making tough turns. You're gonna crash, right? So it's really about focusing on what you got going on in your life, right? Tunnel vision. Like, you really got a tunnel vision. Forget Instagram, forget TikTok, forget what everybody else is doing. What is it that you're gonna do with your life? Because that's the life that matters, right? But that's all I got for today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, you might as well like it up. Comment down what you think. If you're 25 years old, let me know down below, what's your 25-year experience like? Like, what do you think about the topic? What are the things you're going through? By the way, if you're looking to get in the best shape of your life and put on some muscle, hit the link in the description. I got you. I'm the guy for that. I can help you with that. We'll make sure we come up with a custom plan so you can reach your fitness goals for 2025. Hit the link in the description. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. And remember, there's nothing aligning about playing small. And I'll catch you guys next video. See ya.